All right, sound check in 3, 2, 1. You know, for years, I didn't know what that clacky thing in the middle of like when you watch movie bloopers, they've got the time board with the
Yeah, the thing
thing.
that looks like the movie thing. I don't know how else to describe it. The thing that goes,
Yeah.
yeah, black and white.
For years, I didn't know what that was. And I was probably in junior high whenever I learned that it was to track the sound so they could match it up to the video. And that's when I realized that movie cameras were just film, like an old silent movie.
Yeah.
And they decided to record the sound separately to make a talkie. Here's the thing. Why did it take so long for them to realize that you could just record separate audio and match it up to a movie?
I don't know. Probably because it's harder.
Is it?
Well, I don't know.
Because I'm sure they could record. I mean, I guess you just had a record back, not even a record, like a wax
Yeah, like the thingy.
wax cylinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thingy.
The thingy.
I know what you're referring to, and it's the episode of Little House on the Prairie where they get the talking box. It's the
Yeah,
thingy.
they had a talking box.
So some cool things that happened today. We watched the Joker trailer. I watched it first, and then she watched it, and she has a
Phobia of clowns.
and
Very, very bad phobia of clowns.
but you don't mind watching like Heath Ledger as the Joker.
I don't mind the Joker.
Or Jack Nicholson.
No, I don't mind the Joker. But the problem with this new trailer is 90% of the trailer, he was a clown. He wasn't the Joker because this is an origin story.
The Joker is literally called the Crown Prince of Crime.
But
Clown Prince
you said
of
crown.
Crown?
Crown Prince of
Crime.
Yeah, what does that have to do with a clown?
Oh. Well,
You thought I was stupid, but
I guess the prince doesn't wear the crown. That would be the king.
yeah.
I just can't wait to be king.
But no, and also he seems like I really think this is going to be a good movie. But his laugh sent shivers up my spine. And I don't.
Which sounds a lot like Jared Leto's Joker, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't mind his Joker. Just unpopular opinion here.
No, I didn't either. I thought the movie wasn't as great, but his Joker didn't bother me.
Yeah.
It was a cool take. But that that's totally.
But Joaquin Phoenix is way more scary. Yeah.
Does that trailer make the movie remind you of Nightcrawler?
I didn't think so, no.
Really?
I know that you came home and said that, but when I watched it, one, I was mostly just terrified. But two, I didn't really see any.
It's just, I'm not saying he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, but I get what you're saying, kind of the way the movie's filmed, kind of the like saturation of the trailer. But
it's low budget, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that about it. But it has that Nightcrawler feel where there's this guy who's just slightly off, who's trying to be normal, trying to live a good life, but society, the world around him, keeps nudging him and pushing him till he's already unstable that he does completely snap.
I did like who plays his mom in the movie.
I noticed it was that lady from
American
Horror Story.
Yeah, she's good.
I'm sure she's in other things. Oh, moving on. That's a really good segue. Segues are weird. So, what's the dude that you like?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters
not going to be a main character.
Yes.
It does. From what I understand, it doesn't say that he's not going to be in it.
He just says he's not going to be one of the main characters.
Yes.
So he could get killed off in the first fucking episode.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, but I like him. I didn't like him so much in this last season. My favorite season of him is Hotel. Mm-hmm. Where he played the guy that built the hotel. I thought that was a great performance of him. He played older.
Yes, he did. Usually he plays younger.
Yeah, usually he plays way younger. Usually he plays a teenage boy, and the dude's like probably our age or older. Was he like 27?
I don't know.
Fun fact, Harry Winkler, when he played Fonzie, who was supposed to be in high school, was 27.
Fun fact.
First season, that's when he started. So he was probably like 30-something by the end.
My favorite Evan Peters role would be the first, because that's also my favorite American Horror Story. And I have an unhealthy obsession with Tate Landum. But yes, I'm not sure how much longer American Horror Story is going to have left. because a lot of the main cast keeps leaving. A lot of the stories keep getting
Yeah,
a
but
little more.
that's the beauty of it. It can keep changing. You can have your bad seasons, your good seasons. You liked the witch one, and I didn't.
Yeah, but then, okay, Coven was iffy for a lot of people. Then they brought it back with Freak Show. Then they brought it back with Hotel. And then now you've had Roanoke. You've had this...
Roanoke I couldn't get hooked on.
No, and this last one I couldn't get hooked on. And the one where, you know, the clowns and Trump and the whole world's coming to an end. They've had 3 pretty bad seasons in a row, in my opinion. And now they're losing one of the main characters that people keep coming back for. So I don't know how well this is going to go.
Wow, those are some words you just gave there. That's a hell of an opinion, Mom. Jesus. Yeah, these last 3 seasons of the show I really like, and a lot of people like it fucking sucked.
I didn't mean it like that.
That's what I heard.
Not a lot of people liked it.
I wasn't hooked. The last season that had me hooked was Hotel.
Yeah.
And that the weird Trump one, that was okay.
It wasn't bad, but
I never finished it, so it wasn't great.
It wasn't. I mean, it was interesting at first, and then a lot of people just kind of stopped caring about it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have opinions, and a lot of people are wrong.
Oh.
Another. Speaking of long-running TV shows, Supernatural is going into their 15th season. They're going to start filming it soon-ish. They're on their hiatus right now. It's going to be their last season. And I didn't get hooked onto that show until way later. They were on season, 10, 11 by the time we started watching?
Probably around that time, yeah.
And it took me 5 years to get past the first episode.
Yes.
That's how bad it was. I shouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say bad.
The first episode, I couldn't...
Talking about me having strong opinions.
I know, but 5 years. And I'm not saying, I have good opinions, which I do. My opinions are the end-all, be-all of everyone's opinions.
Yeah.
The first episode just could not get me hooked. I watched it, and I rewatched it, and I fell asleep, and I didn't like it. And
I don't know why.
5 years.
Yeah.
And then I finally got to episode 5 of season 1, and I was hooked. I binge watched every episode. It's the most amazing show in the world.
I don't know why we never just skipped to the first episode. Because
it's a pilot. You can't skip the pilot of a show. You skip the pilot, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Back before all this streaming, you used to have to catch a pilot on TV. And if you missed the pilot, you'd watch a show. I don't understand people watch 24 before
it came out on DVD.
Yeah. Could you imagine watching 24, missing an episode, coming in, be like, what the hell's going on?
One of the beauty things of House was it didn't matter where you came in at.
Yeah,
House and
every
Bones
episode
and things like that.
Every episode's its own thing.
Yeah, you could just jump in wherever.
That's why I liked a lot of the old what I call Sherlock ripoffs, like Sherlock Holmes ripoffs, like
Psych,
Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Columbo.
Bones is like that too.
Where you usually have 2 people working together. One has some sort of strange way of deduction.
Yeah.
House being a good example. Monk being a good example. Sean from Psych being a good example. Then you have a friend that follows him around and doesn't understand what's going on. So the main character, the one that has the power of deduction, has to explain things through, which would be your Watson, or your Wilson, which is a really good comparison there. Sherlock Holmes, Gregory House, Wilson, Watson.
Yeah.
The guy in the credits who shot House in an episode is called Moriarty, and Moriarty shot Sherlock Holmes. Really
I'm sure this is not news to anybody. The show is
quite
old.
Yeah. That's not a spoiler, so that's what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're stating, like, I figured this out.
I'll tell you, hey, I did figure this out on my own, okay? And then I started doing research. I'm like, oh my God, I was right. Because Sean has the same power, but he pretends to be a psychic. But he's just really good at deductions. He can look at somebody and tell where they've been in the last 24 hours or how they were raised. His perception
is very good.
Yeah, and they do that cool thing where it freezes on what he's seeing, and then he explains it to you. It's good. The same way Sherlock does that fight thing.
Yeah, they kind of did that with the new Sherlock.
Yeah, where it freezes. Or like in the fight scene in the movie Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., he's in that fight, and it he walks through the whole fight in his head in slow motion, and he does it all super quick. And I think in Sherlock with Benedict Pumpkin Patch, Benedict Pumpkin Patch, I think he does the same sort of thing. He does this weird slow thing, and then he does it really quickly.
Yeah.
What the hell was I talking about? Supernatural. Yeah, season 15 gonna be the last one. Very sad. I'm really. I hope they die. And that's not like I don't like hate the characters. I don't want them to die. I just they finally need to lay their weary head down. Those wayward sons.
Lay their weary head to rest.
Mm-hmm. Those wayward sons. So they won't
sons. Cry no more.
Yeah. I mean, every season finale leads up to that song, and it starts off with that song, and I think it would be really great if when they die, they literally fall down and that song starts playing, and I would take bets that that's what's going to happen.
I don't know that I want them to die. Or
they're not living happily ever after. They're not. And if you continue it, they're just going to have to come back for a TV movie in 10 years.
I'd be okay with that.
I did. I tweeted Jensen, thanks for getting back to me, asshole. He never replied.
One, you tweeted him a couple of hours ago. I'm sure he's a busy man.
Anyway, I answered my own goddamn question. I asked if he would keep one of the Impalas, if he is, or if he would want to. Turns out I did a little bit of Googling on the interwebs, and he said somewhere in an interview, or I think Jared Polakanowski said...
Yeah, that's a name I can't help you pronounce.
Polakanowski? Polaksny?
Sam said.
Sam, in an interview, said that Ackles, Jensen, Dean, he's going to take Baby 1. So he's going to take the hero car. And then he said he was going to take Baby 2. And then either Jensen or somebody else said, you don't want Hero 2. That's a stunt car and it's beat to shit. So he's going to take Hero 3. Baby 3. Because there's actually 12 babies used in the whole show. They have they carry a couple around with them. You have 2 hero cars, which, oh my God, while we're on this subject, in the episode Baby, it takes place from the car's perception. You're always inside of the car. The camera never leaves the car. It's a good episode. It's one of my favorites. There are 2 hero cars, and the only way to really tell them apart, I'm sure there are other ways, but the way that you can blatantly tell is one of them on the back of the seat, the lines, because it's like embroidered with different lines on it. The lines stop at the top of the seat, and the top of the seat is flat.
Excuse you.
I'm not even drinking anything fuzzy. I'm drinking lemonade.
Fuzzy? I'm not drinking anything fuzzy. Not fizzy.
Sorry.
Fuzzy.
Fizzy. Bubbly. Bubble cola. Double bubble cola. All those funny drinks that tickle your nose. Anyway, so the one of the hero cars, the pleating on the seat goes up to the top and stops at a bolster, and it's smooth across the top. The other baby has bolsters that go all the way up. It's all the way up and it wraps around. So the top has the thread lines in it. And in that episode, they'll literally switch from scene to scene because the camera's mounted in the back seat. So you're seeing the seat the whole time. So then in one scene, the top isn't embroidered. In the next scene, it is.
These are the things that keep them up at night.
These are the things that keep me up at night because if there's one thing I care about, it's continuity.
I know.
Okay. In props, movie props. God, I can't stand it when something changes. If you watch Indiana Jones and really pay attention to his hat changes every scene. The way it's pinched.
I just enjoy a movie.
The way it's bent. I can't.
I know. That's why I don't like watching movies with you.
I have those powers of perception. Like Sean. Like I see like, ooh, that's a different car.
You do remind me quite a bit of Sean, I will say. You've gotten a little
fat. Okay, to put that into context, in season 1 of Psych, Sean's really skinny, and by the end, he's not fat, but he's got some meat on his bones. Yeah. He's got a double chin going, and so do I. So she just called me fat, the fucking bitch. Anyway, so last season of Supernatural, really sad. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it should end? Because it's been a while.
I mean, I understand why they want it to end. As a fan, I'm gonna say no. It should pull a Doctor Who, and it should go 50 years. But they've been these characters for 15 seasons. They're probably a little sick of it. I mean, I'm sure they love the fans, and I'm sure they love everything.
Just wish the seasons had been better lately. Ever since the mom came back, that was the jump the shark moment for me. And I think they had an episode called Jump the Shark.
They did. Whenever,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, God is at the book convention.
Yeah. And at the end of the credits.
It's not really jumping the shark if
It's not really jumping the shark if you never land.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
So they've just been jumping. They're still in midair of jumping the shark. So hopefully they'll land in this last season, I guess.
But I agree. I think after they brought the mom back, and I haven't seen them bring their dad back, but I'm sure it's probably around the same kind of way that it doesn't give them anything to fight for anymore. Because the whole time we were watching them.
But that's the thing. They gave them their mom back because that's the whole start of the whole thing is that their mom was killed by a demon.
Well, and then their dad.
And their dad made a deal to save Dean. But
yeah.
They brought the mom back. That was the whole thing that they were fighting for. Mm-hmm. And then they take her away multiple times. She goes off with the Men of Letters. They have to get her back. Then she goes into another reality. They have to bring her back. Like, they just keep finding a way to... They can't keep a hold of their mom.
No.
It's a real Oedipus type situation. There's a lot of love there. And they just can't keep a hold of their mom. They can't keep track of that family. And that family cannot stay alive.
No. And also, unpopular opinion, I don't think that Jack was good for the show. I think Jack adds a layer of confusion. I like Sam and Dean and Cass.
Yeah.
And Crowley, but we lost Crowley, so.
Man, I really liked Crowley.
I loved Crowley.
Yeah. King of Hell was pretty dope, wasn't
he? Yeah. But then they started bringing in, what is the southern gentleman that was like above Crowley, the one that made Crowley turn into a rat or whatever?
I don't know, but I don't want to talk too much about it because it's going to spoil it, because I want to talk about how they got rid of that guy, and that is the most anticlimactic fight ever.
When they started bringing those characters in and it started losing me a little bit.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
But I will miss the show. I
will too. It was nice always knowing it was going to be around, and now that it's not, it's a strange feeling.
Yeah. Well.
Nothing can last forever, I guess. Maybe it'll come back with a TV movie or something if they don't die.
Well, and I'm sure maybe now this is the segue that is needed to maybe get Wayward Sisters back up off the ground, because I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I think...
Nana.
That was the dog. I think the only reason that it didn't get greenlit the first time was they thought that the boys were still going to continue to go, and they didn't want too many stories going on at one time, and they didn't want to confuse people. Maybe this is what is needed, because those sheriffs are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I liked it. So the real point of this podcast is going to be, I came up with this idea that Mom is going to pick her top 10 hottest TV dads. And then later in the next video, I am going to pick my top 10 hottest TV moms, and I'm going to react to hers and she'll react to mine. So starting off.
Okay, my number 10, who is only on this list because if I didn't put him on this list, then that means I didn't put my husband on this list. And that would be Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement.
Oh, no. So why do you attribute him to me?
Because one, it's a show that we both grew up watching.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Okay.
It just reminds me of you so much. I think, okay, you can stop. We started watching it right before we had our son and continued it right after we had our son was when we finished, or when we got to when the boys were much older. And just as watching it, I think you were kind of using that show to prepare to be a dad in a way.
Not the best role model for that, though.
Probably not. He is a good TV dad, though.
He is. That son where JTT, my baby, he's gorgeous. They thought he had cancer.
Yes.
Oh my God. Such a good episode.
Also, he's a classic car fanatic, which reminds me of you. And I wouldn't let him near my washing machine, which reminds me of you.
All right, give me number 9.
Number 9 is one that I thought originally would be higher on my list.
Okay.
But as I was searching through because I had to Google TV dads to get my brain like.
Well, it's a lot to really think about. You have to think of every show you've ever seen that has a dad, and I have to do the same thing. I haven't made my list for moms yet.
And I didn't want to do shows that I had personally never seen either, because like some really attractive guys would pop up and it'd be like for Grey's Anatomy or Game of Thrones. And I'd be like, I've never seen that, so I don't really want to put them on my list.
It's really brave to mention you've never seen Game of Thrones on the internet.
At me. But, so I thought number 9 would be higher, but he's at number 9. And that is Seeley Booth from Bones. That's David Borealis. Angel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I watched Buffy. I didn't watch.
I didn't watch Buffy, and I didn't watch Angel, but I watched Bones a lot.
Yeah, I've caught a couple episodes with you before, and every time I'm like, oh, look, it's Angel. That's cool.
Yeah. It's not your show.
No, not at all.
But he's an attractive man.
Okay.
He's number 9. I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Look, you do not have to. Yeah, you do. You will have to explain why on some of these, but I'm
sure I will.
I'm not going to judge you by it.
I'm sure you are. Number 8. The only reason number 8 is so low on the list is because it took me forever to find a show where he is a dad. Because I was watching him today, and I was like, oh, he's got to go on my list. What show is he a dad in? And the only show I could think of, I've only seen a couple of episodes. And that would be Rick Castle, Nathan Fillion.
What show is he a dad?
Castle.
Oh, yeah.
He is a dad in Castle.
Why are you dressed like that? I'm a space cowboy and it's cool.
That's the one episode I've seen. But I did read the books.
Okay.
But Nathan Fillion is a gorgeous man. I will watch him in anything that he's in.
Even though it is Alan Tudyk, even though it is Wash,
disappointed.
I'm disappointed that he didn't. I'm disappointed he didn't come back for.
But to be fair, we now know it's
Santa
because
Clarita Diet.
Yeah, it's because he's filming The Rookie.
Yes, which we were both like, what else could he possibly doing that he couldn't be a severed head? And he does have his own new show,
which is really good. And I've been trying to get him to watch it with me, which is
I don't have time. I have to watch Star Wars for the 50th time. You know that.
No, yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, number 7. Childhood favorite.
Okay.
This is probably what cemented my love for older men. And that would be Maxwell Sheffield from The Nanny.
Oh my God, you do like a little bit of salt and pepper, don't you?
Oh, I love salt and pepper.
I feel like if they'd have made a good Fantastic Four movie back then, he would have been a great Fantastic Four. And you know what I know him most for? I watched The Nanny too. I watched the reruns of The Nanny. I think it was on Nick at Night.
Yes.
But I know him the most for Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. He played the vampire in that.
He did.
And there's a cool scene where he like walks up a wall and stuff, and he's after that kid.
Yeah.
And 2 things I took from that movie. 1, my love of having a closet full of one shirt, because that kid opens up his closet and he has one shirt all with like a Sleepy Hollow logo on it. I think it's like his favorite band or his favorite TV show or something. Mm-hmm. And when I open up my closet, I have a bunch of Hawaiian shirts. Same thing in my head. But
you just have a bunch of shirts.
I do. But that Hawaiian shirt. That guy played the vampire.
Yes, he did.
In that, and it was a good performance because I think he has a British accent, and it's really neat.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. Salt and pepper.
Number 6 is arguably probably the number 1 best dad on the list, but that would be Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna be on there. Mm-hmm. Every shirtless scene with him, she goes nuts over it.
Because not only is he extremely attractive as Paul, and he's a great dad, but I know what he looked like when he played Little Joe, and he was still so hot.
Was he hot or was he cute as Little Joe, though?
Oh, he was hot.
Really?
Yeah.
I would argue that he was cute. Little Joe. I will say that he's a very strange dad because he gets mad at like his family over things, and he gets mad at the girls and he disciplines them. But then they'll do something really bad in an episode, and they'll tell him, and he'll be like, "Well, girls, I can't be mad at you because you did the right thing by telling me. Well, now are you gonna do it again? No, Pa. All right, get up there and go to bed." Like he has no, and then like his mom, his wife, will do something like spend their last few dollars on some fabric to make her a dress. And then instead of being mad, he just goes, well, you deserve it, honey. Wouldn't you like to have food? Like, what in that kind of era where you don't have a lot of money, would you really be like, well, you do deserve it, honey?
But he's a good man.
It's just...
And it all works out in the end.
Most of the time, yeah. Well, yeah. It doesn't in real life.
It doesn't 100% always in that show either.
Yeah, but the real story of that family, a lot of worse things happen than what happens in the show.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got, what's his name?
Paul's name in real life?
Yeah.
You asked me too quick.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh my God, I can't think of his name in real life.
I can't either.
R.I.P. though.
R.I.P. Ricky.
Anyways, moving on. Number 5 is arguably one of the worst dads on this list.
Oh, okay.
Not the worst, but one of the worst. But so hot. And I don't know that you will think that he would be on my list. Donald Draper from Mad Men.
Okay. I should have seen that one coming, actually. That one makes a lot of sense for you.
He's very attractive, whether he's, shirtless with those short shorts when he's like in
he's really hairy.
In California, or he's in a suit with a glass of whiskey. He's just an attractive man. Very attractive. And I want to see his new movie because he's an attractive man.
All right, keep going.
Number 4
Uh-huh.
is Joel Hammond from Santa Clarita Diet.
I knew he would be on the list.
Salt and pepper, baby.
You really have a type. So, okay. I don't need a reason because I think his humor...
His humor is a big part of it because he is the funniest thing about that show.
See, the first time I ever saw him, he played a guy in Girl Next Door. The Girl Next Door, I think.
See, I'd never seen him in anything before.
He played this crazy dude that like gives this kid ecstasy. Ecstasy. Right before he has to do like this big speech in front of his school or something. And he was a crazy dude. Like he tries to make the dude blow him, and like he just a fucking crazy pimp dude is what he was. And he was terrifying. And I remember seeing that movie way too young, by the way, the unrated version. He scared the shit out of me. Like he just seemed like a crazy motherfucker.
Well, in Santa Clarita Diet, when he goes on his when something really bad happens and he just kind of, have you seen the birds today?
Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, he's like covered in blood or something. Like the whole kitchen's covered in blood. And he goes, "The sky looks so blue today."
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
He's like a man right on the verge of losing this shit.
I love whenever he does lose it and he's just like,
Great, honey. Yeah.
Oh, man, I love it. Okay, what's your next one?
All right, we're in the top 3.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Now, my top 3, you could take one. You could put them in any order.
They're equal. They're equal to you. Okay.
It was too hard to pick a 1, 2, and 3.
John Stamos is going to be here somewhere.
Number 3 is Uncle Jesse from Full House.
Yeah, good old Stamos.
Oh, have mercy.
Have mercy.
He is so hot. And he continues to be so hot.
Do you like him with the mullet?
Yes.
Oh, my God. With the leather jacket, with the fringes. Oh. Remember the episode where he's in the band and they're doing the show and he's got those big fringes on his arms?
I remember every episode.
He holds his arms out. Oh my God.
Yes.
What was it? Jesse and
the music video episode where he's shirtless and the doves in the background and he's singing to Aunt Becky. Oh, yes.
They actually got along together in real life, like brother and sister. They'd play pranks and stuff all the time. Anytime they had a kissing scene, he'd eat a shit ton of Doritos, so his breath would stink.
We don't talk about Aunt Becky anymore. That's a sensitive subject. She was in court today.
She must have had a lot of money. I mean, but what else was she in other than
all those Lifetime or Hallmark movies?
Oh yeah, she had a bunch scheduled.
Yeah.
She had a bunch scheduled and they ended up canceling them.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not doing too well.
No, her kids are. Did they kick them out of school?
Yes.
Ah, they did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
that's a shame.
The side note, from what I understand, like, her daughters didn't care because they didn't go anyways. Like, they bragged on social media that they didn't go to school, but that's neither here nor there because I don't know a whole lot about that subject.
Well, I mean, they knew they just passed the class if their mom just sent them a little bit of money.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
All right, number 2. Up until now, I feel like a lot of people can agree with my list.
I think you... Okay, where is this? I have no idea what your top 2 would be. I knew Stamos would be there somewhere.
My number 2
Because hold on, I just want to point out that Uncle Jesse was a dad. They had twins, so it totally counts. We call him Uncle Jesse.
And in Fuller House, and he's in that show with Josh Peck where he plays Josh Peck's dad.
Oh,
so
yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
Just John Stamos in anything that he's a dad.
Okay, all right.
But my number 2, the only people that are going to like this are strange people like me. Okay? That would be Bo Bennett from The Ranch. And that's not, I didn't mix up characters. I mean Sam Elliott. Oh my God.
Okay. I have a question about him.
Okay.
After this is over. No. I want you to give me your top 1. I'm going to just put Roadhouse on here. Roadhouse.
Okay. And my number 1
Uh-huh.
is I figured you would get this based on what you were somewhat telling me with your list of the hottest moms.
Okay.
My number 1 is Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, he is a dad, isn't he?
He is a dad. He is a terrible dad. He is sexy as shit.
Yeah, one of his sons got kidnapped
Yeah, well.
for like a season.
Yeah, well.
It took him a whole season to track down his son.
He also, like, left little Abel in the hospital with, like...
Yeah, well...
I mean, he's not a great dad, but... Anytime there's a sex scene and his tattoos on his back or like he's shirtless.
Yeah, no, they're not real, right?
I don't care. His back is ripped. Okay.
He has a sexy back?
Yeah.
Jack's got back?
Like, I'd like to like just...
Yeah, scratch it all up. Fucking ruin that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scar that motherfucker for life.
Yep. I even like his long hair. I like when he's greasy.
The long greasy hair.
I can get past the bad American accent even.
Yeah, he does say some words very strangely, just like Benedict Cumberbatch pickle in Avengers. Well, actually, in both Avengers and in he
Doctor
says
Strange.
Doctor.
Well, he's British, so.
Well, you can tell so hard he's trying not to say doctor or doctor. He says.
I don't think he has that high of a pitch voice like you. Doctor.
Yeah, I did.
He's not a Dalek.
I was thinking of K9. Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Affirmative, master. Doctor.
I could see that.
But he says doctor.
No.
I don't know anybody in America that actually says doctor.
We talked about this last time.
No,
it's
no.
like it. Yeah, we did. It's like a Midwestern Texan accent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did talk about that. Okay, so I want to go back to your Sam Elliott one, because you've told me your story about Roadhouse. I want to ask you this one question: how old were you when you stopped being attracted to the kids in these shows, and into the parents?
To the dads.
Yes.
Well, okay. Like Mr. Sheffield
Uh-huh.
and Paul.
Okay.
Both of those. I always had a crush on since I started having crushes on boys.
Really?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that has to do with those were the shows that Mom watched. And Mom thought, well, not Mr. Sheffield, but Paul especially, Mom thought was attractive. So I just was like, oh, he's attractive. And then as I grew up, I was like, yeah, he's attractive.
So how old were you? How old were you whenever you saw that scene in Roadhouse where Sam Elliott pulls his pants down that you were getting a lady boner?
I would say probably
4.
No, I would say probably 13.
13?
Probably. I think that's probably the first time I saw Roadhouse. And I think that was my first introduction into Sam Elliott. And ever since then, I've always thought he was attractive. So the man's like 50 years older than me, and I would totally leave you for Sam Elliott.
Okay. I don't have anything to say to that.
But now I don't know what age it specifically changed, but I would say probably around 17, 18 was when I could watch like a show on TV and it wasn't the younger guy, it was the dad. But then again, that was about the age where like the kids were too young for me, so I was.
It depends on the show, because I mean, we kind of grew up with like Boy Meets World, like
Yeah, but
it was before our time that it started, but like by the time we were little, they were like in college in the show. But I still have a crush on young Topanga.
That's different. Shows like that, shows where we watched them as kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know that those
they're older.
They're
it's
my
like,
age.
It's like Miley Cyrus. I've seen Miley Cyrus's cooch on the internet, and I can still watch Hannah Montana with clean eyes.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like when she started that show, she was like 12.
Yeah, probably close roundabout.
I've always wondered why in that song Malibu she talks about how she never went to the beach or stood by the ocean, but if you watch Hannah Montana, their house was literally on the fucking beach, and they literally, like, I know it's not a real beach, it's a set, but they were on the fucking beach all the time. Anyway, those are the things that keep me up at night.
Yeah.
So that's your top 10, huh?
That's my top 10.
Was there anybody that you thought about that you didn't put on the list?
Yes, actually.
Well, give them to me.
I did think about Dan Connor.
I was, look, he's a bigger man, but he has a great personality, and he's a great dad.
He is, and
in the early seasons.
He's still a good dad even in the later seasons.
No, he cheats on Roseanne and leaves her in the last season.
That was made up.
I'm just saying it happened.
But that has nothing to do with him being a dad. He was still there for his kids. No, it's not that I didn't think that Dan was attractive. It's just he wasn't more attractive than Tim Allen for him to take Tim Allen's spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because like when I looked up the list of TV dads, like people like McDreamy and McSteamy from Grey's Anatomy, which my mom would totally.
Dr. Sexy.
That's not them. And John Winchester, people like that popped up, and John Winchester's not attractive to me.
He's pretty attractive as Negan, though.
I don't think so.
Really? Mm-mm. I mean, I'm sure Negan's a piece of shit from what I hear. I don't watch that show.
I don't either. But no, I don't find him. Now, I wish to heaven above that Dean was a dad, because Dean would be my number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, we talked about
yes.
that he doesn't count as a dad, even though he did live with them during the hiatus between seasons, and he was a dad to that one kid.
He was kind of like the stepdad, but
it
wasn't enough for me to justify it.
So, in some man news, Kevin Smith rapped on Jay and Silent Bob reboot recently. He posted a picture of himself running at home for the first time since they were filming, and I think he was very happy to be back. He was wearing a Bionic Man t-shirt because he jokes he's more metal than man now that he has a stent in his heart.
When are they gonna go back to the Scum and Villainy Cantina to do Fat Man
Oh God, hopefully soon. I mean
Kevin Smith, can we get you on the podcast?
Yeah, freaking right.
He seems like a chill enough guy. Like, hey, yeah, come down.
Hey! I just happened to be in town. Thought I'd stop by. Hey! Yeah, I wish. My God, that'd be amazing.
Yes.
God, our subscriptions would skyrocket. I could get monetized in no time.
I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, you know what? I'll give you all of it. Just sit here. Just let me be near you.
And he would just sit there, just.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait until, I'm excited about Endgame. I'm more excited about his review of Endgame.
You mean when he cries?
Yep. And I love the new jokes going around that comicbook.com will report every time that Kevin Smith sneezes. I get I've already watched, everything he has on the internet by the time I read whatever comicbook.com is saying about it. And it pops up on my Facebook feed. Kevin Smith really liked so and so, but
the new rating system is, did it make Kevin Smith cry?
I mean, that last one made sense. It had Stan Lee in it, and he was close with Stan Lee, and he was reading the script to Mallrats, for God's sake.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, and I'm not shaming in any way, shape, or form because it's usually spot on. But like he gets so excited that like his eyes don't work anymore and just tears fall out of them.
Yeah. Yeah,
which I
get.
get.
So great about him. He's just one of us that just made it. It's one of the reasons why we started the podcast, because in one of his podcasts, he was like, there's so much technology out there. Like, you can just do it at home for like next to nothing. And if you got something to say, just do it.
Yeah.
And he's totally right. If you do have something to say, just say it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, either people are going to like it or they're going to hate it. And there's a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of people to like, and there's a lot of people to hate. But
well, we were just sitting at home and basically doing this.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
not recording it.
Yeah. Literally just having conversations and debates and back and forths about things that we care about. And it was like, other people have to care about this too.
Maybe.
I'm sure there's plenty of nerds.
Well, I've got 44 views on my last video, and half of them are me, so.
None are me.
I know. This fucking lady didn't even watch mine.
I live with you. I see your face all day.
But wouldn't you like to see it on a big TV?
No.
In HD-ish?
No.
1080p. Can't afford the 4K.
I was going to say, when we getting 4K?
When we start getting monetized.
We'll get me a ring light. It'll be great.
Yeah, I am thinking about starting up a Patreon. So if any of you 3 viewers wanted to pay me $1 a month to do this, I would really appreciate it.
Well,
that's all I have to say about that.
We could do like Q&As or something like that, extra videos for the people that decide to do Patreons.
Yeah, because people really want to do a Q&A with us.
I'm just spitballing.
I'm hoping that in 5 years we'll do a reaction video to our original podcast.
I hear a kid crying.
Oh, great. Anyway, I'll talk to them. I hope that in like 5 years we can do a react podcast to one of our original podcasts or videos and maybe cringe at it. That would be great. Like, that would be so great. That's just the idea of me still doing this in 5 years. That would be fantastic. Or even just still doing it in 1 year. I don't like to finish things I start.
Yeah, we have a kid crying.
All right, we want to wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up.
All right.
We got a baby crying.
Yep. The rest of the podcast is canceled due to baby crying.
We'll be back next time to talk about the hot TV moms.
Yes, the hot TV moms. I'm really excited about that because I haven't told you anything about it, so it'll be good to watch you react.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, hopefully.
Comment below your favorite hot TV dad.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, if you're a woman or a man, I don't judge, comment below your favorite hot TV dad. That's a good way to end it. This is an ending.